Chris Redfield has some jacked arms. He taught me that biceps ain't all that. I remember playing RE5 years ago and wondering how the hell his arms even got so big. I mean, yeah, it's a video game. I mean, the guy even tried punching a boulder. Yeah, let's gloss over that. I spent months doing every bicep exercise under the sun, but neglected something that big old Chris has a lot of: triceps. So I want to quickly explain how you can fill out your t-shirt more and get some size on you, especially if you're a bit of a beginner at the moment with your training journey. Now, before we jump into the exercises, we have to know the triceps. Now, these muscles are located at the back of your upper arms. So over here, triceps are usually overshadowed by the biceps because most guys want big biceps, right? That's the way I used to think as well. But triceps play a bigger role in building that arm girth. So the triceps actually consist of 3 heads: the long, medial and lateral heads. So sorry to break it to you, but just doing a couple of push downs at the end of your chest workout is not going to make your triceps grow. Together they make up 2/3 of our arm muscle mass, which is why focusing on them can dramatically change how your arms look and feel, especially in a shirt. Don't give me that. I know for fine well that you guys want to focus on filling out your shirts and you want your triceps hugging the sleeve. Focusing on your triceps is going to help you a long way, I absolutely promise you. But triceps aren't just for show. They play a vital role in arm and shoulder stability, essentially for both daily activities and advanced exercises. So training your triceps is not just about aesthetics, it's about building strength and preventing injuries, and having some tricep strength will also carry over to benching, because triceps are the secondary muscle when you're doing bench presses that are not close grip. So just something to bear in mind. And that's why when you're doing a lot of benching, generally you'll feel that your triceps are quite worn out. So when you get to the end of the workout, you can't give them that focus. Now let's talk about our inspiration today. Chris Redfield. Yes, bit random topic, but his triceps really stood out to me. If you played RE5, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those arms are colossal. While we acknowledge the game developers' creative liberty and exaggerating that bloody physique, it kind of highlights the visual impact of well-developed triceps, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z character. The details in his arms, but particularly his triceps, stand out. They stand out when you're in that over-the-shoulder run-and-gun mode in RE5. I mean, I was only 17 when the game came out, and that's when I started to get into the gym and was wanting to work out and get big. And it was the first thing I noticed when I was playing RE5, because his arms are busting out of his sleeve. Big difference from the old RE1 days. Now, if you're an experienced gym goer, you may already know what to do, but if you are relatively new and you are in your first couple of months of training, then here are 3 of my personal favorite exercises. Close grip bench press. Yes, this exercise is excellent for overall tricep development and can be performed with a grip slightly narrower than shoulder width for optimal triceps. So it's not just a typical benching, but just a little bit closer in. It'll target the long head predominantly, and you'll also target the medial head, which is what most people miss, even though that's a smaller muscle. Overhead cable extensions probably my favorite because I used to get a lot of elbow pain. These target the long head of the triceps more effectively due to the position of the shoulder flexion, and you're kind of in that stretch position, so you'll be able to maximize the activation. I've tried everything from dumbbell overhead extensions. I just could not get proper contraction than when I did it with cables, so I prefer cables and I prefer doing it single arm instead. And cable pushdowns, straight bar, the classic one. This exercise is effective for targeting the lateral head of the triceps, so the choice of grip, overhand or underhand, does not help tricep activation. We see all these silly ass TikTok exercises where they're talking about underhand grips. Yeah, they're not necessary. There's no data to show they're superior to normal overhand grip. But here are a few key tips to remember. First, yes, I'm going to be the bad guy here, but form must come over weight at first. If you're not going to be able to prioritize form, you're not going to be able to activate the triceps properly. There's no point in going heavy. That's why a lot of guys, they just focus on heavy benching all the time, don't have well-rounded triceps. Second, consistency is your best friend here. Aim to train your triceps twice a week, giving them time to recover and grow between sessions. And don't forget to progressively overload. Gradually increase your weights or reps to keep challenging your muscles. Now, if you recover well, and here's a wee secret, something I used to do, and aren't training chest 3 times a week, because you also hit the triceps indirectly when training chest, you could even do triceps 3 times a week, or even give them a day of their own along with biceps. 3 to 5 sets each session to ensure you can give it maximum effort, because the mistake people make is that they leave triceps to the end of the workouts and then they do 12 sets of triceps. This is something I did a lot, and when I started and said to train my triceps away from the chest, I was relatively fresh and I can give them more focus. And I did triceps sometimes 3 times a week for 4 to 5 months, really focusing on them, and they were really brought out. And it also helped my benching as well. I'm not a heavy bencher, I've always struggled with poor form, shoulder instabilities, but when I focused on triceps and getting them bigger, my benching actually improved as a result as well. One of the best things you can do is buy a training logbook and measure your performance over time. There's nothing worse than going into your gym sessions and not knowing what you did previously. Guys chase a good pump, and yes, a pump is one of the components of muscle growth, but you also need to make sure you overload. You're giving the muscles a reason to grow. If you do not know what you're doing previously, you're not going to grow. You can get a pump easily by doing any weight and by just doing 12, 15 reps and doing 5 or 6 sets. But getting a pump is awesome at the end of your workout, but if you want growth, then you're going to make sure, along with nutrition and everything, that you are overloading the triceps over time. Now this video is the training side of things, so I won't delve into the nutrition side of things too much, but just remember the key components of growth when it comes to nutrition. Getting in enough calories, so going slightly above your maintenance, and getting enough protein, because you need the growth, you need the tools, you need to provide the body with the materials to grow. But I may talk about that in another video. I know there's millions of other videos talking about it, but if you want me to cover it, I'll look into it. But there you have it. Inspired by Chris Redfield. We've covered why triceps are crucial to those big arms and how to effectively train them. Now there are a lot more exercises that can hit the triceps, but these are the ones that I found to be the most effective and the ones that I've been using for years without fail. So if you learned something today and do want to see more content, do consider subscribing and hit that notification bell also for when more videos drop. There was a gap between this video and my last one. Now if you are a gamer and you want to focus more on health also, I actually made a video about standing up and gaming and how you can lose weight. I kid you not, check it out. It's above.